you got it. You can do the job. I love the way you look.
Chris, emergency case. I need your help with the garden design.
No worries. I've got the perfect solution for you. It's our $299 garden design package. Come to Hello Hello and get a 45-minute consult with me, and I'll help you lay out the perfect garden and choose the exact right plants. And what you're going to get is you're going to get $299 worth of plants and a free $99 feature tree. So book now and get that perfect dream garden for your wife. McDonald's has great burgers, but they've got even better gardens. And here we've got a fabulous rare magnolia. You'll hardly find one anywhere. It's called a Magnolia denudata. It's a beautiful, rare Japanese magnolia, and it has fabulous fragrance. Heavenly. And basically it's a small to medium tree. It loses its leaves in the autumn, and then you have this amazing flowering in spring, amazing white flowers. And for those people into a green and white garden who want to have a beautiful magnolia and don't want the Solangiana with its pinks and mauves and things like that, the denudata is the answer. And when you get it flowering, smell it. It's fabulous. Denudata magnolia. Don't wait, the garden's calling. Click now. Tap the link and let's go. When you spend over $100 at Hello Hello, we give you a beautiful Chef's Choice rosemary. You can grow this in a pot or grow it in the garden and have a smell. It's the most beautiful, fragrant, tasty rosemary you've ever smelled. It's called Chef's Choice. Wow, you spent over $100. I'm going to give you this beautiful Chef's Choice rosemary. It's beautifully fragrant and it'll go lovely with your lamb roast.
Oh, thank you so much, Chris.
Just grow it in a pot or pot it in the garden.
Okay, great.
Don't wait, the garden's calling. Click now. Tap the link and let's go.
How did you make those moves when you literally have nothing to begin with?
My father had an insurance brokerage. He worked for a insurance company and he was their #1 life agent. And he did a bit of horticulture on the side, and we sold various horticultural products. And the family was very much involved in selling those horticultural products. And I remember being 6 or 7 and selling flowers on the side of the road. And my dad came and watched me sell flowers. The customer pulled up and said, "Are they fresh?" I said, "Yes, they've been picked this morning." And I said, "Would you like to buy a bunch?" And my dad said, "Never, ever say, would you like to buy a bunch?" He said, "You say."
Watch the full episode of the How's Business Mate podcast with Chris Lucas on your favorite podcasting platforms today.
People often ask me if I get upset if they buy plants or book garden designs at other nurseries. And my answer is absolutely not. You're free to go to whatever nursery you want. Just kidding. We've got thousands of plants in a good garden design centre, so you better come to Hello Hello. We carry massive stocks at Hello Hello. With English Box, we've got thousands of beautiful plants like this, just $4.99. Beautiful 6-foot ficus, $99.99. Giant bushy photinias, just $49.99. Beautiful Tanika, $12.99. And what's more, beautiful big Layton's green cypress, just $16.99. Fill your next project with beautiful big evergreens, save lots of money, and then spend over $299, get free delivery and a beautiful big $100 weeping cherry absolutely free at Hello Hello. Don't wait, the garden's calling. Click now, tap the link and let's go. Wow, look at my new van. It's the pinkest van I've ever owned. It's a beauty for doing deliveries, and I'm out doing deliveries all the time. And what it is, you're working hard, you're dropping it off here, you're carrying it in there, you're in and out, in and out, in and out. Before you know it, you're heading down the highway, people are tooting, and you got your pink tutu caught in the door. I mean, it's embarrassing. But at any rate, if you see this van out on the road with this pink tutu hanging out in the door, take a video, take a photo, put it up online, then come in store and I'll give you a beautiful free plant. But it's got to be this tutu here, okay? Oh, everything's cracked, that's a pretty bad thing. But maybe it's not. Check this out. What we've got here is cracked pots, and they've all got a bit of a crack in them, but they're still okay. You can still use them, and we've got hundreds of them, and we're clearing the whole lot out. $9.99 each, in store only. Cracked pots. So here's your free delivery.
Wow, Chris, this is beautiful.
That's right. When you spend over $299, you get free delivery. And you get a $100 weeping cherry for free. And this will make a beautiful centerpiece in the front lawn.
Whoa!
Don't wait, the garden's calling. Click now, tap the link and let's go. Anytime I've seen a sense, years and years later, the point that I'm coming to is this, is that you can plant annuals.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of things that you can just grow from a cutting or bits and pieces, and you can do your garden as an evolving piece. And say in our nursery, for instance, every single week, we want customers to come here, and every single week I've got something that I'm doing ridiculously cheap. So if I was broke, what I would do is I would look for little things that I could pop in, like the sunflower seed, sprinkle it on the garden, up she comes, right? So there's lots of things that you can propagate or do or divide.
Yeah.
Start going to your nursery on a regular basis and buying the bargains. If you went back 30 or 40 or 50 years ago, that's how people did their gardens. They used bargains at the nursery, or they'd buy bargains at their supermarket or their shop, and they would, they'd propagate things, get cuttings from their grandma and put a garden together.
Watch the full episode of the How's Business Mate podcast with Chris Lucas on your favourite podcasting platforms today.
When it comes to bare rooting, I like it long and hard. And here it is, weeping cherries, 1.8 metres long with beautiful hard trunks. This is what you've been waiting for. You've been waiting for weeping cherries to get bare rooted, because in the summer, a big weeping cherry like this is $200 or $300 in a big pot. But right now, bare rooted, they're only $99. You can choose white ones, pink ones, falling snow, your favourite weeping cherries. We've got hundreds of them here, so come here, choose yourself some beautiful weeping cherries and get bare rooted, long and hard. Bare rooted weeping cherries on now, $99. Don't wait, the garden's calling. Click now, tap the link and let's go.
We are looking for azaleas, and if we might find some bargain while we're here, hopefully.
Today I'm looking for some bougainvilleas of different colours, so I'm going to get one of them and then maybe look at some large pots.
We think it's good for us. We like they look like healthy plants, and everything looks good here, so yeah.
Well, as soon as I walked in, I realised it is huge, and it's a lot bigger than I remember, or what it looks like from the front. And I think that's good that you can just get lost in the pathways. It just provides the most natural experience, I think.
Don't wait, the garden's calling. Click now, tap the link and let's go.
I just wanna get your attention, babe. Been looking at that backyard every day. Got a plan that'll make the whole street stare, but only if you're brave enough to go there. No need to call, no need to wait too long. Just send a message and we'll come along. We'll bring the trees, the flowers in the sky. Turn that empty space into your paradise.
I do. And not only that, I can do an economical, original, beautiful garden design. In fact, you should check out our $299 garden design package, where you get $300 worth of plants, a $100 feature tree, and a 45-minute garden design consultation, which will set you up with a beautiful garden. So book now.
All I wanna hear is you say Chris is here, here for me. Chris is here. You're a real man. Look at your eyes. You're a real gardener. You can do the job. I love the way you look.
Chris, Emergency case. I need your help with the garden design.
No worries. I've got the perfect solution for you. It's our $299 garden design package. Come to Hello Hello and get a 45-minute consult with me, and I'll help you lay out the perfect garden and choose the exact right plants. And what you're going to get is you're going to get $299 worth of plants and a free $99 feature tree. So book now and get that perfect dream garden for your wife. McDonald's has great burgers, but they've got even better gardens. And here we've got a fabulous rare magnolia. You'll hardly find one anywhere. It's called a Magnolia denudata. It's a beautiful, rare Japanese magnolia, and it has fabulous fragrance. Heavenly. And basically it's a small to medium tree. It loses its leaves in the autumn, and then you have this amazing flowering in spring, amazing white flowers. And for those people into a green and white garden who want to have a beautiful magnolia and don't want the Solangiana with its pinks and mauves and things like that, the denudata is the answer. And when you get it flowering, smell it. It's fabulous. Denudata magnolia. Don't wait, the garden's calling. Click now. Tap the link and let's go. When you spend over $100 at Hello Hello, we give you a beautiful Chef's Choice rosemary. You can grow this in a pot or grow it in the garden and have a smell. It's the most beautiful, fragrant, tasty rosemary you've ever smelled. It's called Chef's Choice. Wow, you spent over $100. I'm going to give you this beautiful Chef's Choice rosemary. It's beautifully fragrant and it'll go lovely with your lamb roast.
Oh, thank you so much, Chris.
Just grow it in a pot or pot it in the garden.
Okay, great.
Don't wait, the garden's calling. Click now. Tap the link and let's go.
How did you make those moves when you literally have nothing to begin with?
My father had an insurance brokerage. He worked for a insurance company and he was their #1 life agent. And he did a bit of horticulture on the side, and we sold various horticultural products. And the family was very much involved in selling those horticultural products. And I remember being 6 or 7 and selling flowers on the side of the road. And my dad came and watched me sell flowers. The customer pulled up and said, "Are they fresh?" I said, "Yes, they've been picked this morning." And I said, "Would you like to buy a bunch?" And my dad said, "Never ever say, would you like to buy a bunch?" He said, "You say."
Watch the full episode of the How's Business Mate podcast with Chris Lucas on your favorite podcasting platforms today.
People often ask me if I get upset if they buy plants or book garden designs at other nurseries. And my answer is absolutely not. You're free to go to whatever nursery you want. Just kidding. We've got thousands of plants and a good garden design centre, so you better come to Hello Hello. We carry massive stocks at Hello Hello. With English Box, we've got thousands of beautiful plants like this, just $4.99. Beautiful 6-foot ficus, $99.99. Giant bushy photinias.
All right, hello everyone. Welcome to our live Q&A with Chris. How are you going today, Chris?
Good, thank you.
That's good, Chris. We're here to answer any of your gardening or plant related questions, those of you who are watching us right now. If you have a plant question or perhaps a question about your garden, or maybe you need some advice, this is your opportunity to drop your question in the comments section and Chris will answer it live on the show. If you do want to have a one-to-one consultation with Chris, you can also do that by booking our free garden design service through our website, hellohellplants.com.au. But before we get stuck into the questions, Chris, is there anything you want to say about this week? What's happening in the store? Direct message to your viewers?
What's interesting, what's very heartwarming, is that on the radio and things like that, they've been talking about a dry spring.
Yeah,
and drought
in
and
Victoria.
water restrictions in Victoria.
Yeah.
And we've just seen. I've got a production nursery in Shepparton, and it's flooded.
Oh, that's good.
And we've probably just had the biggest rain that we've had in the last 2 or 3 years there.
Yeah.
And all the dams are full, everything's full, all the fields are full, everything's full of water.
Wow.
And so that's a really, as long as we don't need another flood now, Like if we got a flood on top of that flood, that'd be bad.
Yeah.
But and I believe the Murray River's starting to flood.
Really?
So
Wow.
water will be slow to get away. It'd be very easy to have enough, so we don't get too much more rain. But it seems like a pretty wet drought. That's how it seems, and that's really good for Victoria to have good rains for the crop. Like these are the spring rains that we needed for our crops.
Yeah.
The winter rains have been quite good, and as I drive around Shepparton, the crops look beautiful, and this will be the bit of spring rain as long as we don't get too much more rain.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
certainly, I always thought that prediction of drought was a bit off because
Bit early, was
because
it?
one inland Australia is very, very wet, and
Yeah.
generally the water, when inland Australia gets wet, the water moves outwards.
Yeah.
And rains, we start to get plenty of rain on the coastal regions, which is where we are now.
What about New South Wales though? Because they had a pretty wet end to the end of last year, wasn't it?
And it's still got it
Still-
very wet up there. So
Okay.
it's been really, really wet. All along the coast of
Oh.
New South Wales has been really, really wet.
It's a real different sort of
Yeah.
season we're having.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but what's interesting is that the predictions of a warm, dry spring seem to be. I'm wearing three jackets
Sort of gone
at the
out,
moment.
yeah.
And the warm, dry spring seems to not be happening. And at the moment,
Hmm.
it seems to be a classic wet spring.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's got a crispness, and it's good to see the rain because when I came into the nursery this morning, the plants look alive. You know, they look really.
Yeah.
They're happy with the spring rains that we're getting. Well, yeah, I guess if anyone who's watching us too, also maybe to have a question about watering or gardening, or anything to do with your plants, or maybe you need some advice, feel free to drop them in the comment section. We're going to be answering those questions in a moment.
Actually, I had
Yeah,
a,
go
a,
on, yeah.
a couple in for a garden design this morning, and we spent the first half of the garden design talking about water. And the reason why we did that was that they've got an acre block. They're on mains water, but they've got an acre block in a very dry part of Victoria, and they wanted, and they've got a beautiful home, and they wanted to have a beautiful garden around their beautiful home, and they were building the house with a 5,000 litre tank.
Yeah.
Which you know, you couldn't even keep a tiny vegetable garden green with that.
Yeah.
And I had an acre property, and I said like,
That's a lot though, isn't it? 5,000 litres.
well, I said you need to even start to think about watering an acre. You need 50,000 litres.
Yeah.
Not
Were they shocked?
Not five. They were shocked. It took
Yeah.
a while to come to grips with it, but
Yeah.
I explained that I was used to having reasonable plots of land and watering reasonably large plots,
Yeah.
and that you would need, you know, some, 50,000
Serious.
litres, and I said with a 50,000 litre tank or tanks
Yeah.
and using the grey water, you would still have to use a bit of mains water to have a beautiful garden on 1 acre. So they'd still be up for a little bit of mains in the dry part of summer, but they could reduce, with 50,000 litres, they could reduce their mains usage quite a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
So, anyway, but that was just interesting that we spent quite a bit of the garden design working out how they could catch water off the property,
Yeah.
and how they could store water and distribute water, and water was the main part of the design, because unless you knew how much water and whether you had the water capacity, that
Yeah.
would then control the type of garden they had it. And then I was going to go for a kind of a Mediterranean sort of garden, which to look good would need some water, but not massive amounts of water. So
Yeah, right. It's really interesting. People don't realise that how much water is actually needed to keep a property or a garden looking good.
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
And in summer, a lot of people do lose their gardens because they underestimate
yeah.
the amount of watering that's required.
I've got an acre and a half of pots here, and I use about 10 megalitres, 10 million litres.
I don't even know what that is. It's 10 million, is it?
10 million litres, which
Wow.
is kind of like, it's like 12 swimming pools full or something like that. So
Wow. That's needed, yeah.
and that's what's needed to keep.
There's millions of plants on this property, though, isn't there?
Hundreds of thousands, yeah.
Hundreds of thousands, yeah.
But so it was a matter of really getting them to start to think about. Yeah, I couldn't design the garden without thinking about water.
Interesting. Yeah, there you go.
So
And what part? They were in a dry part of Victoria.
They're in Bacchus Marsh, which is not the
Marsh,
driest
okay.
part of Victoria, but what you find in Bacchus Marsh is very good winter rains.
Yeah.
And we're on the eastern side of Melbourne. You tend to get good rains in summer and right through. You get
Yeah, because the Great Divided Range sort of pulls in the weather as well.
Yeah, that's right. You'll get rain, all through the year. With you have drier spells in the summer, but you still get rain.
Yeah.
Same on the peninsula, you still get rain in the summer. Same right through Gippsland.
Yeah.
But on the
Back at
sort of
Marsh
northwest side of
Yeah.
Melbourne, you tend to get very little rain from say late September, early October.
Yeah.
Late September, early October through to June. There's almost no rain.
Right,
It's
yeah.
a
It does
very-
look dry when you drive out on the Western Freeway, actually.
Yeah.
You see cactuses and
Yeah.
things even. Like
And so
someone's
it's-
put prickly pears out there.
Well, right now it's pretty wet out there, but
Okay.
it'll turn really dry, sort of late September, early October. It'll turn dry and stay dry till June.
Yeah.
And that's what we were really dealing with in that particular thing there. And that's why I thought they needed at least 50,000 litres to play with.
Yeah, wow, really interesting.
And they would still
Well,
be doing, and grey water usage, and they would still be using mains.
Yeah, the combination of the lot.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Well, look, we'll get stuck into the questions. So any plant-related gardening questions, drop in the comment section now. We'll get to your questions in a second. Well, I think we'll jump over actually straight to the questions. So the first one here that we have is from Pete, asking, when can I fertilize my magnolias, ficus, and Mexican orange?
Right now, all of those things are going to start growing soon, and it takes a while for fertilizer to go down, get to the roots, and then travel up through the plant. Takes it quite a while, and I reckon a bit of slow release fertilizer, so like your slow release fertilizer applied now is going to really boost and assist your spring growth. And I'll just do a little ad. We've got our slow release fertilizer here, and the slow release fertilizer, what we've done is we're the only people with slow release fertilizer that we've added humic acid to it. And humic acid helps release nutrients from the soil. Locked up nutrients from the soil are released by humic acid. Humic acid improves the soil structure and improves the water holding capacity. So this is great stuff to be fertilizing with.
And it's a natural product too.
Yeah, the humic acid is a natural product, but what's interesting is that we sell a packet like this for $21.99, which is a good price for a litre of slow release fertilizer, but we refill it for $10.99. So I've done a high quality container that people don't have to throw away. So you buy this, instead of throwing it away, you just come down to the nursery every so often, get it refilled for $10.99. And to give you a comparison, I think if you go into one of the big supermarkets or something at the moment, you're paying around $17 for 700 litres. So if you want, and it hasn't got a humic acid
For 700 mil, you mean?
for 700 mil, 700 mil. So now, once you've bought this packet in, you bring this packet back, and that's why I did a high quality packet, because I want people to use it 50 times.
1 kilo, and you get the refills.
$10.99.
$10.99 for a refill, yeah.
So it's round about half the retail price when we refill it. So you're about half price.
And it's a better product.
And it's a better product because of the humic acid in it.
Yeah.
You get more bang for your buck with humic acid in it.
Yeah, make sure, for those of you who are watching us, you want to learn more about it, make sure you're subscribed to our emails because we'll be sending an email out about this product, and you can learn more about it in that email. There's a nice write-up there from Chris as well.
Yeah, and what we're working on is bringing out a range of refillable products so that people are not using their plastic containers and adding them to landfill.
Yeah, that's right. So it's recyclable and it's a good product.
And that's why I use just a clear plain one so that people don't get, they can sit on the shelf and
the other aspect actually we should probably mention is that there's not many slow release that have that brown color like that too, which is nice because it blends into the sort of soil and the texture rather than looking like a colorful sort of Skittles or something on the ground.
Although our granddaughter came to work, saw them on the thing and thought they were chocolate. And
we're trying to avoid it from looking like, what's the other one, like Skittles or Nerds or something, and now they look like Cocoa Pops.
Yeah, but basically this will you put it in and it'll just sort of blend into the soil.
Yeah. No, I think it's good.
Yeah, it's good stuff, and it's got a fairly high it's high quality, high concentration of nutrients, and slow release is environmentally good because when you use normal fertilizers that aren't slow release what they tend to do is that when you get a big lot of rain like we've just had today, it
Yeah.
all releases at once, and the plant can get a toxic shock from too much fertilizer, and then 2 weeks later it's starving with not enough fertilizer because it all went away.
Yeah.
But with your slow release, if you get heavy rains or hot conditions,
Controlled.
the fertilizer will not all leach out.
Yeah.
And then later on, after you've forgotten about them, like 3 months later, they're still getting a nice flow of nutrients. And with this one here, you top up every 5 or 6 months with it.
Wow, amazing. Well, yeah, it would last a long way, that's for sure.
But by being controlled release, it means that less fertilizer does more and creates less pollution, and your fast release fertilizers, your uncoated and your slow release are all coated fertilizers,
Yeah.
and your uncoated fertilizers can be rough on the environment and rough on your plants.
Yeah, yeah, good to know. Yeah, we'll
They
check
get-
it out. We haven't got it up online just yet, but we'll have it out this week, and stay tuned for that. That's
Yeah,
a
it's good.
really
If
good
you're
product.
watching this show, you're getting a preview. This actually, it's not
it's a
even quite on the
prototype.
market. Yeah,
Got a prototype right there.
yeah.
All right, well, let's keep going through the questions. Again, thanks for joining us, guys. Live Q&A with Chris. Ask your gardening questions right now to have them answered live on the show. Elaine asks, what should we be doing for our blueberries in Brisbane right now? Blueberries.
Blueberries, a bit of fertilizer, and like
They're a season ahead, aren't they,
yeah,
out
and
there?
blueberries love liquid fertilizer, and I would go to some sort of professional horticultural place. Like, I don't know if they have them up there, but down here we've got a company called E. Muir and Sons, and they sort of provide not so much your Bunnings isn't what you want. What you want is some professional sort of place,
Yeah.
and get a really good liquid fertilizer for blueberries. I know that
Okay.
blueberries go wild with
With
just the right liquid fertilizer.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
All right,
And
so
so some liquid fertilizer, and your blueberries should be just about to blueberry up there. Down here they're just
they're
starting
way
to
ahead,
flower.
are they?
Yeah, they'd
Way
be 6
ahead.
or 8 weeks ahead of us.
Because we don't get them till Christmas down here, do we?
Yeah, But it's the same thing. Our jacarandas don't flower till Christmas. And I bet you up in Brisbane the jacarandas
Already
are flowering
started,
now.
wow.
Yeah, so they'd be.
That's
Or if
crazy.
they haven't started, they'll be away in the next week or two. So
Yeah, because New South Wales or Sydney gets their jacarandas in about a month or so, don't they?
yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. So
That's incredible.
yeah.
Okay, all right,
And
Elaine,
up
try.
in Cairns they got them last year.
They're so far ahead, they're in the future.
Yeah, that's right. They got to. Yeah, that's right. They're having next year's ones last month.
All right, Elaine, check out the liquid fertilizer for blueberries and what is it, E. Muir Sons?
Yeah, emu and if you can't find that, Osmocote liquid fertilizer for acid-loving plants would be miraculous for your blueberries.
What was that one again? Say that again.
Osmocote
Yeah.
liquid fertilizer for acid-loving plants. I think you should be able to
I'd-
get that in your local Bunnings store.
Okay,
But
liquid fertilizer
Osmocote
for
liquid
acid-loving.
fertilizer for acid-loving plants would be excellent for your blueberries if you can't get onto a professional blend.
Okay. All right, Elaine, hopefully you got to hear that. And for those of you who missed any of Chris's answers, you can rewatch this live after we finish the live. It'll be published on our YouTube channel. Just go to YouTube and search for Hello Hello Plants, and you'll find this live in our live category. Our next question comes to us from Lauren. What to plant in a garden around shallow-rooted trees on a hill with bush turkeys and filtered lights? Bush turkeys sounds like it might be in New South Wales, isn't it?
Yeah, or Queensland or
Because
something
we don't
like
get
that.
bush turkeys at all down here.
Try a silver plectranthus, and you might need to add a little bit of water to them. But silver plectranthus are a great understory plant. They grow natively up in North Queensland, and they make a lovely silvery mound, and they do really well under trees, and they do well with root composition. They may, depending on how dry it is there, they may need a bit of water. But silver
one there, yeah?
plectranthus, a
that
nice
the right
low
one?
mounding plant.
So silver plectranthus
Yeah,
for a shallow garden
yeah.
with a rooted tree. Okay, cool. And the bush turkeys, they don't. What do bush turkeys do with the plants?
Bush turkeys scratch.
Oh, they scratch around the base.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, there you go, Lauren. And then Pete asked another question: is dynamic lifter any good? Do you have any stories about dynamic lifter or?
Yeah, dynamic lifter is really good stuff. They get chicken manure, sawdust, and superphosphate, and they mix it all together. And
Yeah.
it's a good cheap fertilizer. whereas if you're out on a farm and you're growing a big long hedge or something like that, the only thing wrong with dynamic lifter is that it's not a long lasting, like rain and irrigation and that will wash all the nutrients out of it fairly quickly. It's probably only good for 6 or 8 weeks, but it's great for, but it's not, but what's good about it is the low price.
Yeah.
But you would have to apply it more often to your plants.
Okay.
And it's a little low in nitrogen, but
Yeah.
but you'd have to apply it more often than if you use something like a slow release like an Osmocote or our Devotion. That can keep feeding a plant for 6 months. So, but
Yeah.
if you've got that extra bit of time to be putting it out more regularly, dynamic and if you're doing a lot, you can buy it in great big bags and get it quite cheaply from your produce store.
Yeah.
So where you're doing a big project, you don't mind fertilising a bit more often, or you're growing some vegetables which have a fairly short life. Dynamic lifter, terrific stuff. But so the good side is low cost.
Yeah.
Low cost, and it's a mixture of organic and superphosphate.
Yeah.
And it's low cost. It does the job and it works fairly quickly. So it gives you a pretty quick boost. You know, you can chuck it on the lawn and then mow the lawn and put it in, get it into the lawn.
But it's not as long lasting.
But it's not as long lasting. So it means that you need, if you're doing it in a situation like, say, you're growing a big screen or a hedge or something, you might have to do it fairly regularly. But low cost and fast acting is what's good about it.
Yeah, and the English box likes it, doesn't it? Like the box hedging style plants.
It works good on English box.
Yeah.
But again, you use it more often than if you used a slow release.
Like a slow release
Yeah.
to be a bit easier.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. And I remember you said something about cow manure and horse manure, and if it's too fresh, it can burn it. Is that the same with dynamic lifter, or how does that work?
Dynamic lifter, like if you put too much on,
Yeah.
it could burn. There's a fair bit of urea in the chicken manure.
Yeah.
But because they've blended it with sawdust and superphosphate,
Yeah.
it tends, unless you're really gross with it, it tends to not be a problem.
Yeah. Okay. I actually,
and
yeah,
it
go on.
definitely works, and it's fast acting, and you know, like it would only be a problem if you overdid it. And that's
Okay.
one of the advantages of your slow release. It's hard to overdo
It's
it.
hard to overdo it, yeah, because
Because
it's controlled, right?
It's controlled
Yeah.
release, yeah.
All right, Pete, there you go. Hopefully that answers
But
what
the
you
cost,
need to know about
the
it.
cost factor's great, you know.
Cost factor,
yeah.
yeah. Just a bit more work on getting it in and around your garden beds. All right, thanks for the question, Pete. I had a quick question actually, and we've got another one here as well. I've got some kangaroo paws from here last week, and then my garden's all been freshly mulched, like brand new mulch. And I put them near the mulch. I hadn't actually planted them, and then something in the mulch just sucked the life out of the kangaroo paws. Would you know what that would be? And then when I pulled the kangaroo paws out, they were completely dry, even though they were out in the open. They got the rain, and there was like a green. It looked kind of freaky. It was like a green thing on the mulch growing where the kangaroo paws were connected. What do you think that's like something about the air or something going on with?
When mulch decomposes,
It's
it sucks
decomposing.
up nitrogen.
So that's what it would be
Yeah,
then.
it's called nitrogen drawdown. And so what happens, things like sawdust, horse manure, anything that's high in cellulose
Yeah.
sucks up all your nitrogen.
Okay, and then it would have sucked it out of the kangaroo paw, is that right?
yeah.
I'd never seen anything like it. So I took them out, reviving them now. But it's interesting talking about like the different fertilizers and, you know, like soil is sort of like, it's like cooking, you know, you got to have the right ingredients to get the
That's
product
right,
to grow well. All right, cool. Next question. Oh, no, for those of you who've joined us, this is a live Q&A with Chris. Please ask if you have any gardening questions, plant-related questions. Use this time to ask Chris. Pick at his brain. 60 years of horticultural expertise can help you with any plant or garden-related questions. Drop them in the comment section right now. Chris here, a different Chris, asks, I put in a simple dripper system. Would straight and narrow lily-pilly need slightly more water than plants? It just says plants. Is it more thirsty than other plants?
Straight and narrow lily-pilly, yeah, the answer is yes and no. What it is, straight and narrow lily-pilly comes from northern New South Wales or southern Queensland, is where it originates from, where it grew wild, originates from a wild Australian native. And it grows in country with summer rainfall. And your summer rainfall country can be dry for long periods. Some years they miss the wet season, or the wet season's very short and the dry season's very long, and so to stay alive it hardly needs any water. It's tremendously drought tolerant, but but what happens is that it's been trained over millions of years to wait for the wet season, and when the wet season comes, grow like crazy. And so basically, if you want fast growth on your straight and narrow, you have to absolutely drown them twice a week.
Right.
Really make them think they're in northern New South Wales or southern Queensland and the wet is on, the big wet is on. You make them think the wet is on.
And you even do that here when they're planted here as well?
Yeah, that's right. So the answer to the question, if you want fast growth, absolutely drown them a couple of times a week.
Yeah.
And then once they're established and you don't want to trim them too much, you can go fairly dry.
Okay, and they're used to that, you say, and that it triggers like a growth in them or something.
Yeah, that's right.
Really interesting.
So basically, you've got to make them think it's the wet season. And so basically, if you buy little tiny straight and narrows and you want them to become big straight and narrows, you give them a wet season right through the warm months in Melbourne.
Yeah.
And they'll actually grow here better because we've got hot, clear, sunny days.
And very dry,
and pump the water into them and away they go.
Wow, very interesting indeed.
But will, if possible, we like overwatering it?
Can you overwater them, is the question.
They wouldn't want, say if you had very poor drainage and you were pumping them with water and they're sitting there in pools of water all day, day after day, that would be bad for them. It would inhibit growth.
Yeah, it's more a well drained, so flooding them, but you've got a well drained soil basically.
So the water goes in and moves on, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All right, there you go, Chris. All right, we've got another question here. Little Red Mermaid. Oh, she just asked, I just joined, what plant are we talking about? It was the Lily Pilly straight and narrow.
Yeah, so we're talking about straight and narrow lily pilly. That's a lily pilly that's a very popular one, and it's one that has a sort of a central trunk and grows tall and skinny real quick. And people who've just got a very narrow area use it, they've got a narrow garden bed between themselves and next door, and they plant this straight and narrow because they can make nice narrow garden beds.
But it still makes a nice hedge, right? Like a thick border hedge, like a regular lily pilly.
Yeah, it makes a beautiful border hedge, but it doesn't sort of fill your whole garden with leaves and branches.
Okay. All right, there you go. Little Red Mermaid. All right, and again, thank you to everyone who's joined us. If you have any gardening questions, plant related, please drop them in the comment section right now. Little Red Mermaid's come back with another question. Thank you. Is it normal for my blueberries to be fruiting in New South Wales? Picton.
I'd say it's fairly early, but not, it's fairly early to be pretty, but blueberries, as you go further north, they fruit earlier and earlier and earlier.
Yeah, right. That's like central. Oh no, it's below Sydney. Okay, it does seem early, doesn't it?
But if she's on the coast, it's fairly warm there.
It's sort of inland a little bit. It's just above Wollongong.
Yeah.
Picton, inland a little bit.
Yeah, it's a warmish climate.
Okay. All right, and we have, and as you said at the start of this, live Q&A that we're doing, that we've had a bit of a wet season inland, so maybe the outer regions of Australia are also experiencing a slightly different climate, would you say? This season?
Because we've got I've noticed on our farm, which is inland a fair bit, that we've had a lot less frost this year.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a different one, that's for sure. Yeah, I don't think I've seen only one frost, I think, this year.
Yeah.
All right, Anja asks, hi Chris, we have a bare front garden and want to put in magnolias. What else would be complementary Melbourne, Victoria?
Say there's different magnolias, but the most popular magnolia is your little gem or your teddy bear, which is an evergreen magnolia with a large dark green leaf. And it's funny, the last customer that I helped just before I did this little question and answer thing was helping him plant some plants around his very dark green teddy bear magnolias. And what I showed him was variegated society garlic, which had beautiful little lavender flowers for 5 or 6 months of the year.
Yeah.
And they have lovely stripy silvery leaves.
Yeah.
and then I showed him.
They've just added its teddy bear magnolias.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I'm guess teddy bear or little
Wanna
jam
put
are the
in
most popular
teddy bear,
magnolias.
yeah.
So and then I showed them kaleidoscope, which is a beautiful, has white flowers,
Yeah.
and has green and gold foliage, and it's really bright and nice and really
Which one
contrasts
is that
nicely.
again? Is that the
A kaleidoscope. It's an Abelia kaleidoscope.
Abelia? That's right. Yeah.
And these are my favourite plants for planting with your teddy bear magnolia. The other one that I love to plant with the teddy bear magnolia is your plum gorgeous Laura petalum, which is a low growing purple spreading one. So
Yeah, that's
kaleidoscope,
lovely.
And we're gonna, I think we're
Plum
going to be seeing
gorgeous.
a plum gorgeous shortly. And then something silver can be very nice with them, like a snow in summer ground cover. So snow in summer, kaleidoscope, snow in summer for beautiful silver moundy effect.
Something, yep.
Kaleidoscope for sort of a gold look.
Yeah.
Um,
And a bit of rainbow. Plum gorgeous, which is coming.
yeah.
That's the plum
So
gorgeous.
here's your plum gorgeous here. Plum gorgeous, beautiful.
That's awesome, that plant.
Burgundy, purpley leaves, beautiful pink flowers in springtime. Show them those pink flowers there. Beautiful pink flowers in springtime.
Yeah.
And a beautiful low-growing bush that gives you a year-round colour in the garden and just grows beautiful with your magnolias, like your teddy bear.
Gorgeous, yeah. Okay, they go good with teddy bear magnolias.
Yeah.
Right, there's a few choices for you, Anja. And if anyone watching or yourself, Anja, wants to book a free garden design service with Chris, you can do that on our website, hellohelloplants.com.au, and you can have a one-to-one consultation with Chris, and he can help design your garden for you.
And better book it now because when springtime it will
True. Yeah, it's best to get your bookings in now, because once we get the springtime, there's almost like a month sort of wait, isn't there,
Yeah.
to get booked in. So if you are looking to do your garden now, then best to book it now and get in early.
Even if you're thinking of spring, book it now.
Yeah,
Because spring's only around the corner, and spring is our busy season.
yeah, it gets pretty busy. So definitely book
Real
it
busy.
now if you want to get onto it.
Busier than busy.
All right, next question. Oh, Little Red Mermaid said we had a warmer start to winter. Maybe that's why.
Yeah.
That's definitely possible.
Yeah, I saw a lot of spring blossoms around here come in autumn.
Yeah, we actually, even now we're seeing early-ish spring stuff,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah.
For Melbourne, yeah. All right, next question comes to us from Sylvia. How can I kill an oyster plant? I've used woody killer, boiling water and vinegar, but they keep growing.
I reckon you have to dig, there's a kind of like a
Bulb, is it?
bulb or a core, like a tuber under the ground, kind of a tuber. I think you have to dig it up, and I think apart from that, they're indestructible. You know,
Okay, it's like an agapanthus sort of affair, is it? Or
even tougher.
is it?
Yeah.
I saw that. I have one at my place, but it died and then it came back. Like it dies over winter.
Yeah,
is that
that's
what
right.
it does? Yeah.
Yeah.
Dies over winter.
Yeah,
then
and,
just
and
comes
while
back.
it's and now's a good time, but you know all the top's gone, and you
Yeah.
just get down and dig those big white roots out.
Okay. All right, so you got to get Sylvia. You got to
big-
get down there and dig it out. by the
Yeah,
sound
there's
of
a
it.
big fat white root under the ground there. Get a mattock or a pick and dig that root right out. Otherwise, they'll just keep on suckering up.
All right. And then Little Red Mermaid commented back to Sylvia saying, "I'm having the same issue, but with the tobacco plants. It's called and then it cut out the."
Yeah.
Comment
So dig
cut
the
out.
roots right out.
Is it the same? A tobacco plant tuberous, are they? I have
They
no
got,
idea. I
They
don't-
got, they got a root that can sucker back. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And I don't think it's a real tobacco plant. It's a kind of a weed that people call a tobacco plant.
Oh,
It's
is
a
it?
leaf like tobacco. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Chris. Says Sylvia. You're welcome. And for anyone else who's just joined us, there's a live Q&A with Chris answering your gardening and plant-related questions. All right. Next one comes to us from George, asking which plants flower for the longest time. I think we had this question last week.
Ah, yeah, but
It's a good question.
it's a good question.
People they want flowering all year round, I think.
Yeah, that's hard to get, but I'll give you a list of plants. Convolvulus.
Yeah.
5 to 6 months a year of flower, and you can get one with blue and white flowers. You can get one with blue flowers and one with white flowers. They're cheap, they're fast, they're easy to grow, and they'll cascade over an embankment, and they're one of the longest flowering perennials.
Nice. Convolvulus. Yep.
Dioides grandiflora. Dioides grandiflora, big white flower with a blue and a yellow, couple of blue and yellow spots in the middle. They have a sort of a grassy foliage, very erect, and they they flower for 5 or 6 months of the year.
Yeah.
Then there's a thing called little baby, and that actually has few flowers in the winter and lots of flowers most of the year.
Yeah, we showed one of those off
Yeah, and
last
little
week.
baby flowers all year round. So very, very
Wow.
long flowering.
Yeah.
Another great one is your seaside daisy, and your seaside daisy flowers for most of the year.
Yeah.
And it's a lovely little daisy flower. There's your African daisies. Your African daisies flower for 5 or 6 months of the year, just flower and flower and flower.
They do
and
flower a lot, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's your African daisy. Then long flowering. Your carpet roses. Your pink,
Oh, yeah.
your pink and your white, your light pink, your dark pink, and your white carpet roses all flower for about 5 or 6 months of the year.
Okay.
Your dark pink one is the most floriferous of all. And then your iceberg rose flowers about 365 days a year. If it's well watered and well fertilised,
Even when it's dormant.
it doesn't really go dormant. It just keeps on. In
Just keeps
Melbourne,
on going.
in,
True, yeah.
in Melbourne, it just tends to keep on growing and
Yeah,
flowering.
you're right, actually. It's always flowering, yeah.
Yeah. So
There's
there's
a few.
what else is there that flowers all year or most of the year?
That's crazy. That's
Yeah, the other thing would be Escallonia ivei. That's a beautiful dark green glossy foliage and
Yeah.
white flowers. And I reckon that flowers for 5 or 6 months of the year. I've got them in flower here at the moment, and I
Yeah.
almost have had them in flower for as long as I can remember. Like
Yeah.
but in a cold environment, they may not flower all year, but they have wave after wave of beautiful white flowers.
Yeah.
And it's something that could be used as a bed, as a hedge, or as just an individual bush. But it flowers and flowers and flowers.
Awesome. There's a few for you. Oh, and there's a little BB here. This one you reckon flowers all year round, is
Yeah.
it?
So little baby, middle of winter. Look at the flowers on that. Look at that.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah, and in spring and summer that'll have even more flowers on it. So little baby, when I get someone in here who wants flowers all year, little baby is one of the few things that I can offer them to flower pretty much all year.
That's fantastic. All right, George, great question. And there you go, there's a few. And if you do want to rehear any of Chris's answers again, just go to YouTube and search Hello Hello Plants, and we'll publish this live as soon as we've finished broadcasting. We'll jump into a few more questions coming through. We'll jump into those, and thank you to everyone who's asked a question. We'll endeavour to get to all of the gardening questions here on today's show. Asha has dropped a question here. South Australia, full sun, any suggestions? Full sun, South
full
Australia.
sun. South Australia tends to be pretty hot. So things like, I've done a few garden designs in South Australia just online. At any rate, so the first thing that comes to my mind is crepe myrtle. Crepe myrtle loves a hot sunny position, doesn't grow too big, and gives you a fabulous show in summertime. And then some other real hardy, colourful bushes would be things like Escallonia, and one that's really worth a look. I'm not sure how you'd go getting that over there, but there's an Escallonia called Pink Owl. Gorgeous pink, doesn't grow too big. Use it as a little border, use it as a specimen in your cottage garden, but Pink Owl would be really, really good. And basically it's hot and dry and tough over there in South Australia compared to Melbourne. It's a different climate altogether. Your carpet roses, you've got white ones, you've got pink ones,
Carpet
you've
roses
got
go
apple
good,
blossom.
Yeah.
Carpet roses, I notice when I'm driving around Adelaide, I see carpet roses everywhere. They're really, really good.
Yeah.
And then things like your silver bush would be really, really good. So
Oh, yeah.
silver bush,
Yeah.
carpet roses, and I think if you're focused on those particular items, that they would give you a lot. And also your variegated society garlic. I mentioned them earlier. Variegated society garlic, hot, dry, loves it.
Beautiful.
Flowers for 5 or 6 months of the year. Really good plant for that sort of country.
All right, beautiful. Asha, we had a bit of a glitch with the platform they were watching us on. You did freeze at the top of answering their question. Do you want to just quickly run the list, just quickly? Do you remember each plant? You just listed off. I remember from Pink Owl.
Okay, Escallonia, no, crepe myrtle.
Crepe myrtle, yep.
Escallonia pink owl.
Escallonia pink owl.
Dioides grandiflora.
Dioides grandiflora.
Carpet rose.
Carpet rose.
And with carpet rose, you've got apple blossom, dark pink and white.
Yep, selection of colours.
And then I was thinking silver bush is very good.
And silverbush. All right.
Yeah.
There's a few for you, Asher.
Really tough, colourful, easy to grow, easy to keep
the hot
surviving in
sun?
hot, dry conditions.
Hot,
yeah.
dry conditions. All right.
And with your crepe myrtle, you can get lots of different colours and sizes.
Wonderful. All right, Asher. Hopefully you got to hear that. So we just had a technical glitch there when Chris was answering it for you. All right. Next question comes to us here from Little Red Mermaid. Any tips for growing hydrangeas in pots?
Yes, get them out of the hot afternoon sun, or get them out of the sun completely, but certainly no hot afternoon sun. A cool shady spot. Have your pot sitting in a saucer of water, because hydrangeas love moisture. So sit them in a saucer of water, get them out of the sun, plenty of good quality potting mix, plenty of good fertilizer, and keep them really, really well watered out of the hot afternoon sun. And don't prune them too hard, because if you prune them too hard, you've got to get some old wood on them to get flowers. So the easiest in a pot, the easiest hydrangea to manage would be a paniculata hydrangea. Paniculata have a different leaf on them. Something like your Sunday Froze would be very easy to grow and flower in a pot.
Yeah, they're the more, they get slightly larger, don't they?
Yeah, they get slightly larger, but also you don't need to be as clever about pruning them as you do a ball hydrangea.
Yeah. Okay, great question, Little Red Mermaid. And yeah, just keep the water level up in the hotter months, isn't it? Like you can have them in the pot in the shade, but you do have to water. And the good thing about hydrangeas is they really let you know when they're thirsty.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they will.
Yeah. All right. Pauline says, I purchased the Japanese maple from your shop and just wanted to know what plants can be planted beneath without it competing for root system space and nutrients. You can do all sorts of
lime
stuff.
lava
yeah,
does
lime lava.
really. Lime lava.
Yeah.
Lime lava, and say black mondo.
Yeah, I
or
was going to say black mondo.
Black
yeah.
mondo, stripy white mondo, or stripy white liriope perhaps. So your mondos and liriopes and some of this lime lava would be excellent to grow under your Japanese maple.
All right, beautiful. There you go, Pauline. Thanks for waiting, and we got to your question there eventually. All right, so lime lava, black mondo. Any other suggestions? Or
That's it.
That's it. Okay, good. All right, Tanil is asking, repotted a 1.8 metre lily pilly, but started to lose all leaves. The trunk is green underneath. It was root bounded, but the trunk is green when I peeled it back. What should I do? Could be like my
I think
neighbours.
you're in serious trouble.
Could be like my neighbours' lily pillies.
Yeah, I think it sounds like there's been some root damage.
Yeah, they don't like the roots being touched at all.
No, they don't. You really don't want to tease the roots, trim the roots, or do too much with the roots at all.
Yeah.
So here we've got a black mondo and lime lava. Lovely combo to go under the Japanese maple. Give you a very sort of a zen, Japanesey look.
Yeah, I got a black mondo on my potted one actually. It looks really good. And the black mondo gets a bit larger than that. Gets about 30 centimeters tall and bushes right out. Yeah, my neighbour had the lily. Getting back to Tanil's concern about the lily pilly, my neighbour had a gardener. Funnily enough, he said he had a gardener pull out some lily pillies, and the gardener trimmed the root ball back to about a 10 centimetre ball on lily pillies that were like 6 feet tall.
Yeah, and they were basically dead on their way to the new job. They were dead.
Yeah. What shocked me was he said he got a gardener to do it. So
yeah,
that's the part that was a bit scary. Like if it was just a regular person that didn't know what they were doing, it makes a bit of sense. But anyway, yeah, it might not be a good sign to Neil. Might have to. What are you suggesting they do?
Start looking for a new plant to put in the pot, and put that one in the green waste bin and put it down to experience. I'd say too much root damage.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta let go and move on with plants, unfortunately. All right, lots of questions coming in. We're getting to your questions here, guys. Just hang in there. Sylvia just made a comment saying not a gardening question, but well done to the web designer. Looks great.
Oh, thank you very much.
That's good to hear. What Little Red Mermaid's wondering what's Chris's favourite Aussie native?
Favourite Aussie native. Yeah, it's a funny thing. I've got a few that I really like, but I think if I really think about it, birthday candles. Birthday candles are beautiful low-growing Banksia, and it has a beautiful sort of a warm orangey yellow flower. It flowers for 5 or 6 months of the year, and it only grows maybe 70, 80 centimetres tall and maybe 1.2 metres wide.
Yeah.
It has lots and lots of flowers, and it's a magnet for birds. You know, and I've filmed beautiful parrots in them and all sorts of things. And
Is that the birthday candles, yeah?
yeah, and what
Yeah.
I find when I'm doing garden designs, what I like about them is very often I'm working in a small garden and we don't want to put anything too big in there, but we need some sort of a standout plant, and it's one of the smallest plants that I can put in that's got a bit of character, and it's got that standout sort of star quality without being too big. So I tend
Yeah,
to,
they don't get too large, do they?
so
Lovely.
I'm using it in a lot of garden design. So it's my favourite in that I use it in lots and lots of garden designs, and I personally love it, and I love some of the videos we've done on it.
All right, yeah, you've done some videos. How big did they get there? Because in the video they look about 4 feet
No,
tall.
no.
That's not a birthday candle then, is it?
No,
It was
that-
something else actually.
Yeah,
and it had
birthday-
the parrots and rosellas in it.
I think where I've done parrots and rosellas in them, they're only like 70, 80 centimetres tall.
Okay, oh maybe it was about that tall.
Yeah.
It's hard to tell from the video. All right, so birthday candles, Little Red Mermaid is Chris's favourite Aussie native. All right, and next one comes to us from Nick saying, any tips for moving a mature hydrangea bush, roughly 40 years old?
Chop it back hard, dig it up with as much root as you can, a nice big root ball, and pop it in and keep it nice. Put some a dynamic lifter would actually be good fertiliser. It's nice and mild. A bit of dynamic lift around it, and keep it well watered as it moves away in the spring.
So right now is okay to get it out, you reckon?
Well, now's the time
Yeah,
to do it.
so now's
the time. The hydrangeas are just waking up and getting going right now.
Okay,
So
and
I'd-
you want to cut the ball right around, yeah?
I cut the ball right around and cut it right back. You know, like if it's 40 years old, it's probably 2 metres tall. Cut it back to 60 centimetres tall.
Yeah. All right, beautiful. There you go, Nick. Hopefully you got to hear that answer, and thanks for the question. Little Red Mermaid commented, my tip would be move it to my house because having a 40-year-old one is amazing. Haha. That is pretty amazing. Is that normal? Like, I didn't know they lived that long.
Yeah, they do.
Hydrangeas live forever.
Hydrangeas live forever. Up in the hills, there's lots and lots of really old, lots of hydrangeas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Little Red Mermaid also just commented back, I've been looking for birthday candles. It's the one I'm missing for my garden. None in stock near me currently.
We have them in our nursery, and I can understand your local nursery not having them. I struggle to get them, and whenever some become available, I plunge on them and buy hundreds of them so that we've got some here.
Yeah, they're super in vogue right now, like popular, isn't it, with all the trendy sort of garden design people.
They're very in vogue. I was kind of using them and they were easy to get, and then
What happened though? Did they go on Burke's Backyard or something?
One of the last garden shows,
Yeah.
almost every exhibitor had them
Yeah, I remember that.
on their stand, and ever since they've been really hard to get.
Yeah, it just for some reason someone picked it up. Maybe it was on one of those gardening shows or
Yeah,
something.
it's probably the look that people want sort of low moundy look, and that gives you the low moundy look with a bit of character, and so it's become very popular.
All right, there you go. All right, next one comes to us here from Chris. Chris again, I think he's asked before. I did a design with Chris, and he recommended icing lime throughout a garden. I can wait until October. I don't know if it's meant to be can't, but it says I can wait until October, but is there an alternative I could consider, or better off just waiting?
What is
Oh,
it?
they can wait until October. Why do they have to wait till October? Is that when you can get them?
Icing lime.
It says icing.
Irisine lime.
Irisine lime, sorry. Irisine
Yeah,
lime.
irisine lime, hard to get at the moment. I'll have to get to work on that.
They're saying they can wait, but just wondering if there was an alternative you could consider. Or...
Nah, if I used irisine lime, it was for a reason, and it's worth waiting for. It's a beautiful plant.
All right, there you go, Chris.
It's a shade loving. Now, irisine lime is a shade loving. It's a green leaf plant with yellow splashes on it. It doesn't grow very tall. It grows probably 80, 90 centimetres tall, and puts on a really colourful show in sort of subtle, cool kind of colours. So I would have done it for a reason, and
Yeah.
there's nothing else that quite does what irisine lime does.
All right, perfect. And yeah, again, if you do want to have a one-to-one garden design with Chris, like this last viewer did, you can simply go over to hellohelloplants.com.au and book a free garden design with Chris. He'll design and lay out, plan your garden with you in mind, of course, and get it looking amazing once it's grown, of course. All right, I might take a couple more questions and finish off this live. So if there's any last minute gardening plant related questions, drop them in the comment section right now. We'll try to get to those. Imols says, hi Chris, do you have any tips for growing tomatoes on a western facing balcony?
Okay, western facing balcony, it sounds like you're going to have to grow them in a pot. So a nice big pot, good quality potting mix, good fertilizer, something like a slow release or a bit of dynamic lifter or something like that. Plenty of fertilizer, a little bit of lime, and keep the water up to them, and you'll have tomatoes coming out your ears.
Nice. All right, so
And also
they'll do good, wouldn't they, in
yeah,
that
and I've got
condition?
one more little tip. I was thinking about people growing
What
tomatoes.
about wind though? Wouldn't you on a balcony get quite
Stake
windy?
them well, stake them well.
Yeah,
But
okay.
but what I would do is don't just put your large fruiting ones like your gross lists. They take months to grow up and produce fruit. Your cherry tomatoes are in
Tomatoes, yeah.
business in no time.
Yeah.
So in the same pot, you could put some cherry tomatoes
Yeah.
and your
Gross
gross
lists.
lists or
Yeah.
your Roma,
Yeah.
and have a short and long term solution to your tomato problems. So do
Yeah, right.
don't shy away from your cherry tomatoes, because the thing with cherry tomatoes, they're in production in no time.
Yeah. And Emol's just commented back, and trellis.
Yeah,
Stakes and trellis,
trellis
yeah.
or stakes are excellent.
Yeah.
But I think mix it up a little with your tomato varieties to get plenty of
most.
fruit over a long period.
What was the fertilizer you suggested again? Was it
Osmocote or our Devotion.
Osmocote or Devotion? Slow release controlled. Okay, beautiful. That's easy.
Yeah, and a bit of liquid. And if you're really keen to get some tomatoes, a bit of liquid fertilizer wouldn't go astray either.
Yeah.
Like your Maxicrop or something.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. And Moles has just said, oh, good thinking. Actually, maybe a long rectangle pot. That's also deep. Yeah.
Yeah, with a few different varieties in it.
Yeah, that
So
sounds
mix
really
it up
nice.
a little,
actually.
yeah.
Yeah, get 2 to 3 or even
And
4
what
varieties.
you could also do is, if you're planting in September, put some basil in around the base.
Yeah.
And basil but you can't plant basil now because the cold
Too
will
cold,
kill it.
yeah,
But
yeah.
Late September, you can start putting your basil out there, and you could grow. What would look really nice is 2 or 3 tomatoes or 4 tomatoes in a big long pot, and a little crop of basil all around. Be
That
awesome.
sounds awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds really good. Yeah, I was trying to get basil last night, but there's none. Like in my garden, I just realised it's all dead. Like
Yeah.
not dead, but it's not there anymore. All right, might make this the last question for today. Thanks for joining us, guys. This one comes to us from Ed. What are your thoughts on self-watering pots for houseplants?
Self-watering plants for. I don't understand how they work, and
Have you seen them before? I don't even know about them.
I've seen them, but they're kind of complicated, and they kind of, whether they really do the job. With houseplants, this is my thought. With houseplants, you don't water them very much, and I would rather be in control. And I would rather, and what you do is you don't water most of your houseplants. You don't water them very often, but when you water them well, so they're dry most of the time. And I would tend to like to water them myself. And I never thought of using self-watering, and because you don't have to water them very often, what
You
the
don't,
heck,
yeah.
you know, they just water them yourself.
Yeah.
And so I'm the sort of person who don't water them much, become a really. Sometimes I get people in there and their houseplants are all dead, and they said, look, somebody told me not to water them too much, and I say, what do you do? I said, well, we get an eye drop, we give them 4 drops every 3
Yeah, they're not
months.
watering enough.
I'm
Poor thing's
exaggerating
killed,
a little
yeah.
bit, but what I'm saying is that there's people watering very infrequently with almost no water,
Yeah.
and that's a surefire way to kill them. Water not too often,
Yeah.
water more in the summer, less in the winter, not too often, but with a good dose of water so they really do get wet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, indoor plants are pretty interesting because once you figure out how they operate, there's a bit of a rhythm to it, isn't there? Like
Yeah.
it's sort of, and like, for example, we've got a monstera in our house that's growing beautifully and we barely water it. Like we give it a good water when it needs it, but we don't water it all the time. It's grown up to the roof now, so.
Yeah. Yeah, so indoors
fuss-free.
they don't seem to use that much water.
Yeah, you've even got a palm. I don't know how long it's been. There's a palm in a room in here that's completely dark. I thought maybe you were experimenting to see how long
I
it
don't
will
know
last.
what it's doing there.
Oh, okay. All right, guys. Thanks for all the questions here today. Emol says, awesome advice. Thanks, guys. Going to have sauce for days. Haha. Basil for
What did he
sure,
say?
too. I'm going to have sauce for days, like lots of sauce.
Yeah.
And basil for sure, too. Yeah, that was for the
Yeah.
tomato question, tomato. Every time, Little Red Mermaid says, every time I've grown tomatoes, my chickens have gotten out and eaten them. I'm praying this spring is my first successful tomato season.
Right. Yeah.
Any suggestions on that, Chris, or not really?
Well,
Chickens?
chicken poo is really good to get the tomatoes growing, and then you've just got to keep the chickens off the tomatoes.
All right, guys, we're going to leave it there. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll be back next Monday with another live Q&A with Chris, and you can, I guess, stockpile your questions now. If you have any plant-related or gardening questions to ask Chris next week, we do these live Q&As every Monday, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Australia. And I think that's pretty much everything. Oh, we're going to have a live, we'll have a live sale this Friday. You can join if you want to watch. There's going to be lots of excitement with that. We've got a live auction. We're having a live auction as well, or?
Yeah.
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 Live auction as well. And I think Chris wants to talk about a current special we have at the moment. So tell us a little bit about this. You get it. There's a free weeping cherry involved.
Yeah. So imagine this, you go down to your local Manning's Hardware, right? And you buy a couple of bags of potting mix and maybe a tomato seedling or something like that, and you spend $100. And you say to them, now what am I going to get for free? And they'll tell you to get out there,
Yeah.
get
out of
out.
here.
Yeah, get out.
Don't ask these
Don't ask for
questions.
some free plants. But come to Hello Hello and spend your $100, maybe a couple of bags of potting mix and a few herbs or something like that. Maybe a nice little perennial or two, but you come down, spend $100 and it's all very pleasant. And if you're spending $100, do you know what they automatically give you when you come in here? What my staff will automatically give you? They're going to give you this amazing Chef's Choice rosemary. Now you can see it's no ordinary rosemary. You touch it and smell it. The smell of this is incredible. The taste is amazing. It's called Chef's Choice. It's $29.99. Come down, spend $100 and we'll give it to you for free.
Yep.
Then
This week.
come down and spend $100 and we're going to give you a beautiful lemon for free.
So you could choose either you can have a free Chef's Choice or a free lemon, isn't that
That's
right?
right, yeah. And say you bought a whole garden lot. Say you put a whole garden lot together. You're doing the front garden. You've got a new house. You're doing up an old place, and you're doing the front garden, and you need a feature tree, right? So you spend $299, and they'll give you free delivery over most of Victoria, right? And they chuck in this beautiful weeping cherry for free. Can we see? We'll see if we can see the head on.
Yeah,
look
we're
at that.
looking at it.
Look at that weeping cherry there. You get this weeping cherry for free. Now, no other nursery, no other big chain store is as customer friendly as Hello Hello. So spend over $100 and get a free lemon or a free rosemary. Spend over $299 and get a free $100 weeping cherry and a free delivery over most of Victoria.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, so rush down here this week. Get going for spring.
Get going for spring. We have lots of great little freebies and specials like that at Hello Hello Plants. And also I just want to add that if you join us on the live sale, we're having this Friday, which is also at 12 o'clock, and that has concurrently has a live auction happening at the same time. If you do join us, we're going to have a nice little secret code for you guys on that live sale, which we'll be announcing, which we're going to have that you can use on the flash sale. We're going to get a certain amount off your plants. So it's pretty exciting indeed. Come to our live and you will get the code. That's exactly right. Yeah, we got Little Red Mermaid saying that's insane discount reward. That is an insane discount reward. It's a $100 weeping cherry, which is just thrown in when you spend over $299. I'm jealous you don't deliver to me. Haha, yeah, wish we could get up to there, but unfortunately.
We'll get there eventually.
Yeah, they'll open up the border security at some stage, I'm sure, and then
Yeah.
we'll be able to get stuff into New South Wales. But for now, unfortunately, not right now. All right, guys, stockpile your questions for next week for the live Q&A with Chris again next week, or join us this Friday at 12 o'clock. Thanks for coming today.
Bye.
Bye-bye.